mentioned we had Paulie Malignaggi on the show before the fallout. Actually, it was after the first sparring session, before the second one, which was ultimately leaked, and he was a bit more tight-lipped then because I don't think he wanted to upset a camp he was working with, and we were sort of saying, is there much pop in his punch when he landed one? And Malignaggi politely said, no, not really, nothing which Mayweather and most boxers wouldn't have faced 1,000 times. Does he have this big left hand on him?
Yeah, I've held the pads from him. He's got a bit of power, yeah, but Conor talks about position of his feet, and I've watched him, and mixed martial arts, you're probably giving a little bit more time to position your feet to throw that left hand. But when he does, it's not a case of he's got a lot of power on that shot, but he kind of steps onto his left foot and throws that straight left hand right back in again. He done against Jose Aldo, the 13 seconds punch. That was that left hand, just took a little step back, cracked it in. But you see, him being a southpaw, most fighters are right-handers. It's the southpaw left hand. A lot of the time you don't see it coming. Andy has a good left hand, really good left hand when you don't see it coming. I actually think he's got a great right hook also, because a lot of your knockouts come with that right hook. But the left hand from a southpaw is a punch you just don't see coming. You don't expect it. So, it's the punch you don't see coming. Punches come at you, you tighten yourself up, you can take them.
Yeah.
It's the one you don't see coming, it's the one that knocks you out. And with a lot of mixed martial artists, they don't expect that left hand to come because they're watching the feet, they're watching the takedown. So it's, he's got the advantage.
And the 4-ounce glove, it's basically it's like a fist hitting you. It's worse than a fist because it's padded. It's more hard. It's harder. It's like compressed padding in leather compared to having. When Paulie Malignaggi sparring, they would have been wearing 18 ounces, probably 16 ounces gloves. Yes. So it's a big difference. Okay. And there will be a little difference in the 8-ounce gloves. So they won't have this,
Well, the 4-ounce and the 8-ounce, the
there's
difference.
Not much.
There's not much. There's actually, because we got a pair of UFC ones sent to my gym, and somebody heard McGregor was at the gym, somebody sent them off, so we to get them signed. And actually, Spike put a pair on the other day and was like, it's like hitting concrete. Yeah. So there is a difference. But as I say, if a guy hits you with 10-ounce gloves, 12-ounce gloves that you don't see it coming, you will get dropped. The head shakes, the brain gets messed up, and you will get dropped. But Conor has a good left hand. But I'm sure, I'm sure Mayweather's been in with harder punches than Conor. But he's what can I say?
I know. Well, you consider southpaw. Like if you're building the southpaw argument for McGregor, you'd say Pacquiao's southpaw.
Yes.
Is he better than Pacquiao? Probably not.
No.
Is he better than Robert Guerrero? Probably no. So
no.
That's the thing. Mayweather's fought southpaws and he's handled southpaws.
Absolutely.
The argument for the left hand is that Mayweather uses from an orthodox stance, uses the shoulder roll to deflect right hands, but against a southpaw using the left hand, it won't work because you'd roll straight into the punch.
Absolutely.
But he seemed to deal with Pacquiao's left hand.
Conor has extremely long arms too. If you've ever watched him, he's got these extremely long arms. And he walks around the gym. What he does is when he comes to the gym, he sits down in a hunker position. He doesn't sit on chairs when he's in training. He sits down like a little gorilla. And then when he goes to the toilet, he moves himself across the floor with his arms because he's under this illusion that, not illusion, what he does is he trains his arms like legs because he wants his arms to be as strong as legs. So he's got extremely strong arms also. So he can keep at that long range with his arms. Now, for how long I do not know. And, an experienced boxer, after round or two, figures you out. And when they figure you out, and Mayweather will, you're in trouble if you haven't got a plan B or plan C.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a boxing coach in the corner. Well, as far as I know, he doesn't. So you cannot count on them moves if you don't know what's coming. He could be getting set up from the 4-second round. Mayweather could be setting him up, getting him moving a certain way, and all of a sudden that right hand comes out of nowhere. Because sometimes a couple of rounds you try different things. And
one of the comments Paulie Malignaggi said, and I know he's trying to be polite, because they were, like after the first fight, he said, McGregor sets traps for you, but he's got to set more traps. You can see him after a while, he needs to do more things, So it sounded to me, like reading in between the lines, that, it was good for a while, but Malignaggi kind of figured him out a little bit, I could see patterns in McGregor's style, without saying that he repeats, without trying to be too negative, But
and Mayweather will work that out as quick as
Mayweather was the master of taking whatever weapon you have.
Yeah.
If you want to come out jabbing, it won't be long before you won't be throwing that jab because he'll take it off you. He'll find a way to counter you and use it against you.